Let's get right to it. You don't have enough money, and that's a problem, and you know it. It's time to stop ignoring it. Roll the intro. The idea is simple. Every day, Monday through Friday, I go live for about 10 minutes. We discuss digital marketing because that's what I do as a stream of income. That's one way that I serve others in the marketplace. If you're a business owner and it's relevant to you, if you're a decision maker in the marketing area of your business, chief marketing officer, click the link. There's a link in the description on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram. There's a link in the bio. If you're not a decision maker, if you're not a business owner, forget it. Don't worry about it. All right. This is a turning point for Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. If you're a pal, Sean, my name is Sean Allen Fenn. I'm the founder of Safe New Media. The company I work for, the digital marketing agency, is called Pipeline Communications. We get our partners double their ideal customers in half the time, but we can't work with everybody. Like I said, if that's not relevant to you, if you're not a business owner, if you're not a decision maker, don't worry about it. All right. So in the process of doing these live streams, the desired outcome that I have is to solve a problem. Now, I remember when I didn't understand money, I didn't understand how this worked. But over time, after making some really expensive mistakes, I'm starting to figure some things out. So I don't pretend, I don't have a Lambo. I don't pretend to to be a guru or to have all your answers or whatever. I don't pretend that, I'm one of those social media dudes that posts his Lambo and junk like that. Even though those guys are fun, more power to them. But I don't pretend to be that. All right. But what I do hope that I can accomplish, what I do intend to accomplish, I'll put it that way, because I'm tired of hope. Let me explain that. Because hope without a desired outcome is just like a wish, and it can be fulfilled. So don't get me wrong, because I do believe that according to your faith, it's done for you. All right. But my point of this episode is the lack of money is the root of all evil. In the New Covenant scriptures, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. That's a mistranslation. It's the lack of money that is the root of all evil. I don't expect to get a whole lot of viewers from this episode. If I do, then awesome. However, there is such a misconception and confusion about money that it's unreal. It's so bizarre. Because what I see, the number one reason for all problems in the world, going back to a point that I was starting to make, I'm looking for a big problem that I can solve for people. Because that is how value is created. And for example, this might be a tired example, but I'm going to point to it anyway. For Elon, it's Mars, right? The biggest problem that ends all relationships, that causes more arguments, that causes more indecision, causes doubt, causes anxiety, is lack of money. Money is the issue. Money is always the issue. It's always money. If you work in sales, it always comes down to money. If you live a life, if you are out in the world buying groceries, it always comes down to money. And most people lack money, even though there's never been more money on the planet than there is today. How many trillions of dollars were printed? See, here's the thing with fiat. They can just print the money. They print so much money that we've never had so much money in circulation. So why is it still an issue with people? Well, it goes deep. It goes very deep. Number one, we learn bad habits from our parents, from the people around us. We learn bad habits. We learn misconceptions. Just tell you quickly about how I discovered this. At one point I looked at my life. It was terrible. I didn't want it to be that way anymore. I remember going through this. I didn't know what to do. I thought, I don't want this. I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck my whole life, because it looks like at this rate where I was going to be in my 50s, still standing at a makeup counter selling lipsticks. Because that's what I did for a long time. And I didn't want to be one of those old people that are still struggling. Now, there are boomers out there who are struggling, that they can't stop working because they didn't create any assets. They didn't invest in any assets that are paying them. They didn't invest in enough. That's the biggest problem. See, I will never again be addicted to a paycheck. Why? Because if you're living paycheck to paycheck and it's fiat, US dollars, fiat money, and you don't move that fiat money into an asset that pays you, so you don't have to be there and you still get paid. If you don't have an asset, multiple assets that are paying you, like a business that you're not in, you don't have to work in, but you can work on, a business that operates while you're not there, and you get paid while you sleep, like e-commerce or enterprises that you can build. If you don't have that, you are going to regret it. Especially when you get older. You're going to regret it if you don't have that. And for those people out there, there's a particular person who I can think of that tells young people, you got time. Talking to you, I'm not even going to say his name because that'll give him energy. But there's this internet guy, personality on the internet who says to young people, you still have time. Are you kidding me? You don't have time. Time is the most valuable asset you have that should be paying you. And if you're wasting it, it's not paying you and it's going away. And the earlier you figure that out, the better, because that money that you don't make compounds negatively, and the money that you do make compounds. So the earlier you can learn how to invest, the better. Now, the mistake that I made is, I'm just saying this because I remember when before I understood this, it wasn't that long ago, but I had to turn my life around, and I made the mistake of going back to college. Now it's good for some people, but it's not for everybody. And I didn't realize what a bad bet that was, at least for my situation, because I took my 401k money and put that into my college tuition. That was such a bad bet because it w it w just there was not enough upside to that move. So I learned that the hard way. Never never waste a good mistake. That's a rule. Never waste a good mistake. All right. In conclusion, I gotta conclude this because I'm only planning on doing this for 10 minutes a day because I gotta get to work. Because there's people there's people that need help. And I'm grateful that you're watching. I'm grateful to have you click like, smash that subscribe button. If you need to reach me, I do want to hear from you. So I don't use Messenger. I don't use, I limit my time on Facebook. Facebook is for advertising. It's not for socializing. For a consumer, it's about socializing. But if you want to get things done, it's for advertising. So my point is I'm I'm not going to be reached on Messenger. So if you need to talk to me, I do want to hear from you because I am interested in what you have to say. Text HSRL, Hidden Secrets Revealed Live, to 917-231-9054. I want to recommend, if you want to get into e-commerce, I want to recommend Shopify. There's a link in the description that will get you started with Shopify. Guys, you have to build your IP, your intellectual property. You have to build a brand. You have to. At this point, you can't not have multiple sources of income get lined up. And e-commerce is a no-brainer. Like, that's the world we live in now. In a post-pandemic world, e-commerce is a no-brainer. You have to do it. Get started with Shopify. There's a link in the description. And also, you need more focus. I recommend effing focus. There's a myth that we use 10% of our brain. Some people use less. But the problem isn't how much of our brain we use, it's what we use in our brain and what we prioritize and what we say no to. That requires focus. You have to be focused. Get rid of brain fog. There's a link in the description. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up now. And I want to leave you with this. Money is energy. Money is energy. It is the energy exchanged for a job well done. If you don't have enough money, it's because you haven't done a great job for people. Enough people. Money is energy. On a high level, money is energy. On a ordinary level, turn your fiat into assets, please. Don't be living paycheck to paycheck. You will regret it. If you can, stop trading your time for money. If at all possible, do not trade your time for money. If at all possible. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Let me know. Do you hate me for bringing this up? Do you love me? Because I love you. All right, I have spoken.